Hello there, I'm Scotty. You're not. Welcome back to the Smallville Retrospective. We're looking at Season 3, Episode 3, Extinction. Yes, I had to think about it for a second. There's another episode that's just okay for me, I guess. This season gets better. Before I begin, I want to talk about the season in particular. This was the season 3, that I got into Smallville. There are 2 episodes later on this season were the first 2 episodes of the show I ever saw. We will talk about those when we get to them. They're Magnetic and Shattered. They're 2. Well, one is really good. The other one is just okay that I've noticed in recent years. But, yeah. Is that tear on it or something? And so this is where I got into it. And so, yeah. So, it is now back to school time. And they're not singing the song from Billy Madison, but they're going back to school. And there's this kid named Jake who has a thing for Lana. You find out he's a fish meteor freak guy. He can breathe underwater. And he has a thing for Lana and then just tries to kill her for no reason. There's no reason for this. He shows that he likes her. In the very next scene, she's swimming and he tries to drown her. Where's the correlation with that? How does that work? How did it escalate to that? It makes no sense. But he is killed by an unknown attacker who, spoiler alert, turns out to be his friend Van, played by Jesse No, not Jesse Bradford. It's John Tucker Must Die guy. It's John Tucker. It's, I don't remember his name. But he's from the John Tucker Must Die guy. John Tucker. I confuse him and Jesse Bradford, Tyler Hoechlin, which is weird because he plays Superman. And even the guy who played, Mary's boyfriend on Seventh Heaven. Robbie was his name. I confuse those actors. They're very similar looking, but this guy, Tyler Hoechlin and Jesse Bradford, specifically, those 3 are very similar. You know, Jesse Bradford, the star of Clockstoppers and Swim Fan, and Tyler Hoechlin, star of Superman and Lois. And this guy here, John Tucker Must Die. We're talking in the hallway again. You have your own apartments, talk there. You don't need to talk in the hallway. You know there's a million freaking echoes. Anyway, so this episode. So, yeah, we find out it's him. He was targeting meteor freaks. Because we find out his dad was murdered by a meteor freak. Not just any meteor freak. Tina Greer. His dad was the military recruitment officer that she killed back in season 2. So I love that connection. I never got that connection before this. So that's a pretty good connection there for that. So, the guy was just trying to do his job. So I can see that from Van's point of view, but he then targets Lex Luthor, and we find out he's using Chloe's secret files, and he helped her set things up, which is a bit of lazy writing just to say, oh, that's how he knows. The other guy would not do that. I don't know. He tries to kill Lex, but of course, Clark intervenes, and then Lex starts to question his own mortality. Like, oh, is there something with me, you know? Because we found out before he has a high white blood cell count, and now he's starting to think there might be something to the meteor rocks doing something. They never fully go anywhere with this. Not really. I guess not completely explored, but You know, fresh off the blackmail scene in the caves, Lionel returns to Chloe. Chloe returns to Lionel. She gives the last file on Clark and says she's going to quit, but then he threatens to fire her father, who just got a promotion. So he was ready for this. He was expecting this. He promoted her father, and now is saying that if she doesn't continue to do this, he will fire her father. Yes. So, during the fight between Van and Clark, Van finds out that Clark has superpowers, but the meteor rocks hurt him. So, he fashions bullets out of meteor rocks. Which, I love this scene, because it's very much, you know what's going to happen, but Clark doesn't know that. He hears the gun, rifle, get fired, turns around to grab it. It goes through his hand and in the here. Now this is not a kill shot because it's just the shoulder. It doesn't pierce the heart. The heart is here, so it just is the shoulder. But it's kryptonite, so it poisons him, and so they're trying to get it out. And this would have a lot of tension to it. If I didn't already know there was 10 seasons. Like, if you're watching this, even the first time you watch this, you can be like, well, I'm not going to kill him off. It's his show. We're 3 seasons deep. This is the end of the show. Okay, fine. No. But there's a lot of tension built into this moment. Are they going to get to pull it out? Are they going to get it out? Are they going to get it out? And they do. Because, of course, they do. I don't know why shows do this with their lead stars. And especially we know that this particular lead star goes on to be Superman. I don't know. So then, for some reason, Van goes to visit Lana. Or Lana goes to see Van? I don't remember. Just watched the episode. I know Clark goes to talk to Van before, so maybe he goes to see Lana for some reason. And this does feel like shoving Lana in there just for the sake of having her as a hostage. There's no reason for him to take Lana as a hostage now at this point. But he goes to visit her and he tells her that he murdered Clark. And so she calls the cops and says that Clark Kent was murdered, which I feel like she should have called the Kent house first to make sure. I don't know why we needed the sheriff here. It takes only thing is to maybe the episode bigger. The only other thing I think of is that so that Clark can find out. But if she just called the Kent's house saying she's in trouble, Clark could have super sped off when, like, you could have had this scene where he heals up and then all of a sudden Lana calls and she's in trouble, so he super speeds off. But I guess if they did that, then she'd be able to put together, wait, you got here pretty fast, right? So he shows up. They have the sheriff show up and just whatever. And then, I'm not a fan of Sheriff Adams if you don't remember. But he gets there and he just takes these bullets. And I'm like, oh. Now, Van is trying to show her proof that he's invincible. So he shoots a bunch of bullets. I'm like, oh, so this is regular bullets, right? Okay. Clearly, Clark's got something up his sleeve, and he pulls it off to reveal like a bulletproof vest. But it's lead, because they're kryptonite bullets. And I went, wait, why is Van shooting kryptonite bullets at Clark if he wants to prove that Clark is invincible? He saw Clark get hit with a bullet. He knows it will hurt him. He knows kryptonite is his weakness. Why would he think that shooting him full of kryptonite bullets is going to prove he's invincible? I don't know. But is that lead? Like, she's got to point it out to the audience. And Van ends up getting arrested. Excuse me for the yawn. And he goes to talk to Lex, and Lex, I don't gotta worry about that. Okay, there's a thing at the beginning of the episode where Lionel's talking to a doctor. He's gonna get some kind of exam. I don't think they mentioned it in this. But then he's like, oh, you have a life insurance thing, and maybe that's what they mentioned. I don't know. But, yeah, and he's like, oh, well, I've survived. You know how many times I almost died? I should have died. I've lost count. And I've survived more times than I ever thought I would, you know. Maybe I thought you were the one who saved me that day. Maybe it was something else, you know. But he did pull you out of the water. If he didn't pull you out of the water, I never got that. Like, I understand you got a higher white blood cell count, but you would have drowned if he didn't pull you out of the water, you know. I'm just saying. Just saying. But, yeah, and he survived a plane crash, and he survived No, that's not till the end of the season. I'm not going to say it. But he survives more. Yeah. But, yeah, I don't know. That's just that. And then we have one last scene with Clark and Lana where she basically says, you know, you can tell me the truth. Which, you know, is true. Lana Lang, I've seen versions of Lana Lang who knows Clark's secret. Like, I don't know why they had to keep having him lie to her. I think it would have worked better if more people, like, I'm not going to say who, but Pete's the only one of his friends that knows right now. Another one of his friends doesn't find out until season 4, and that's like halfway through the season, if even, that they find out. And it's like, why did it take so long for other people to find out their secret? Like, meanwhile, on The Flash, 15 years later, or 13 years, 12 years later, whatever, you have Barry Allen revealing his identity to anyone if it'll help him. The situation, it just, you know, it baffles me. Clark is so protective of his secret identity, and Barry's like, I'm the Flash. He isn't like that. That's once when he was drinking, but you know what I mean. You just like, you know. But yeah, this was interesting. I'm gonna give it another 3 Superman logos out of 5. It was fine. It was fine. Middle of the road episode. I never remembered liking this episode too well anyway, so it's just kind of man. And after, you know, the first episode is a 2-parter, so it's like, first episode really hits you, and the second one is kind of cooling down, and this one, then the next one, I remember being a very, you know, big episode in terms of what they do with it. So we shall see. But what are your thoughts on this episode? Let me share, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty. And there's barely any Pete in this. We need more Pete. You think Pete would be in this more? I mean, he knows Clark's secret. Include him more. You know what I mean? I don't know. Even if he was around, he'd probably get knocked out by Van. So, I don't know. Oh, there is one more scene to talk about, and that is that Chloe can't get into her files. And it turns out that Lionel had them blocked off, so no one else can get into them. But they're her files. So you think that she'd be able to get into them. Like, she gets a password. I don't know. But, yeah, it's to protect Lex, he says. But, you know. So, thank you for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one. Oh, come on.